My food stamps went from $4,400 in food stamps every month to $38. What am I supposed to get with $38 with 6 kids? How the hell am I supposed to support my kids on $38 in food stamps? Not to mention our disability checks on hold. Our Section 8, my rent isn't getting paid tomorrow. So I have to come up with $1,100. Okay? I am allergic to work. I can't work. I refuse to work. The whole reason I had kids was the amount of government benefits that you get for one child. And now, with the dependent age being 7 and younger, none of my kids are dependents now. None of them, because they're all older than 7. So how am I supposed to live? How do I feed my kids on $38? This is not okay. Not okay.
71,000 people in Alaska, 629,000 in Arizona, 5 million California, 349,000 in Colorado, 182,000 in Iowa, 486,000 in Kentucky, 740,000 in Michigan, 326,000 in Missouri, 72,000 in Nebraska, 566,000 in New Jersey, 2 million in New York, 727,000 in Ohio, 829,000 in Pennsylvania, 681,000 in Virginia. This is just a snippet of the amount of people that are about to lose their health insurance, their health benefits. My daddy said that, to be healthy is to be wealthy. And so now they're coming to take that form of wealth away as well. They're taking that away and giving it to the rich, to the billionaires, to the people that don't need it. Transferring the wealth from the bottom back up to the top.
I found out I was pregnant and I'm now almost 16 weeks. I live in Florida and I don't have health insurance. I tried applying for Medicaid, but I got denied. I'm a server and I make decent money, but I thought I could qualify for some kind of financial help. I tried applying through healthcare through the marketplace. I make too much money for that apparently. So I don't know much about insurance, right? But I went in person to Florida Blue and asked them for help, right? I got quoted minimum $522 for the insurance I want. The one I would actually probably get is $775 per month. And that doesn't include the cost of delivery and all that. How are people affording this much money a month? How can you afford to have a baby? This is ridiculous. That, I just don't get it. I don't get it. If you know of any hacks to get health insurance in Florida for cheaper, I don't qualify for Medicaid and I don't qualify for Marketplace. Or if you're an insurance broker that could help me out, let me know.
So if I get a job, I can get food stamps. But if I don't get a job, they cut my food stamps. But if I get a job, they're going to cut my food stamps anyway. How does that work?
Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's so good to have you. Thank you so much for clicking when you saw this video. So people are now on the internet crying out because they are about to lose their SNAP benefits and Medicaid and Medicare. All of those benefits that was there during the former administration, they are about to lose it in this whole big beautiful bill, and MAGAs are not even excited about it anymore. People are crying out the cost of even getting an insurance for healthcare is something else for pregnant women, for anybody at all. People can no longer live this life anymore. I'm just going to let people's videos roll. Then we come back with the commentary. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment. Let's have that conversation in the comment section. Please consider subscribing to my channel and do give the video a thumbs up. Credit to all creators on this video. So let's go watch. Then we'll come back with the commentary.
So the Donald Trump administration is out here saying their new Medicaid cuts are only going after undeserving people like undocumented immigrants and able-bodied adults who shouldn't be on it. But here's the problem with that. That's just not how this works. You can't pass sweeping changes and pretend there won't be collateral damage. Millions of people who actually deserve Medicaid are going to lose it. And they need it to survive. They're going to get caught in the crossfire because of this. So let me break this down. First, they're adding work requirements. That sounds harmless, right? Like, yeah, you got to work to get insurance, whatever. But in the real world, that means a ton of people lose coverage, not because they're not working, but because they didn't fill out the right form, or they didn't have internet access, or they missed a deadline, or they have a disability that doesn't come with the perfect diagnosis. In Arkansas, they already tried this. Over 18,000 people lost coverage. Most of them were working. They just couldn't keep up with the red tape, guys. And then there's the tighter eligibility. You want the translation for that? They're raising the bar, and people just barely making it already are going to get kicked off. Single moms, people with part-time jobs, people in a crisis who can't prove it on paper. Just gone. And let's talk about this idea that undocumented immigrants are eating up Medicaid. That's a fucking lie. Most of them already don't qualify. They're cutting things like emergency care and support for U.S. citizen kids and mixed status families. It's political theater, and it's families who pay the price. The CBO literally says 7.6 million people could lose Medicaid under this plan. You cannot lose that many people without hurting folks who desperately need it. So if the cost of cutting a few undeserving people means millions of deserving Americans, the elderly, the disabled, low-income families also lose coverage, then no. This idea isn't worth it. Come up with something better if you're so fucking smart, because if your plan punishes the very people you claim to protect, then that's not a plan. It's cruelty dressed up as reform.
Why would anyone, whether you're a Republican, an independent, or even MAGA, vote for a Republican candidate moving forward? That means a Republican congressman, a Republican senator, and a presidential candidate. All they want to do is gut programs, our major programs, our life-sustaining programs, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. Now, before any of you start squawking and saying, well, yeah, there's too much waste, there is no waste. Social Security is its own fund. It is not part of our budget. You get a separate tax for Social Security. It is its own fund. It has nothing to do with our budget. Now, they claim that they're going to be cutting waste, fraud, and abuse. Well, they've really yet to find the serious waste, fraud, and abuse that adds up to peanuts. Okay? Nothing. And all everybody keeps saying is, let's see it. Let's see the waste, fraud, and abuse. Because the numbers that Congress is talking about, slashing, like billions of dollars, there is no waste, fraud, and abuse there. And that's why Musk has left. That's why they're all starting to say, well, we really don't have anything. Because, the last time I checked, anybody who commits fraud against the U.S. government, whether it's Social Security or any other kind of benefit, you get arrested. You get taken to court. You will be convicted. And we've yet to see one name of anyone. So the whole thing's a sham. So again, why would you, moving forward, vote for a Republican? They want to get rid of Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. It's already been proven. That whole stunt the other day with Joni Ernst, the Iowa senator, and she told her audience who screamed at her that people are going to die, and she said, we're all going to die. Yeah. So these are the kind of people you never want to vote back into office. So again, if I'm a Republican or an independent or whatever, I'm not voting for a Republican. They want to take away this program. Let me ask you something. If I came up to you and said, I'll give you $2,000 a month, no strings attached for the rest of your life, what would you say? You're lying if you'd say no. Everybody 100% would say yes. Now, if I came up to you and said, hey, I'm going to take $2,000 a month moving forward away from you for the rest of your life, what would you say to that? Again, I'll answer for you. 100% would say, hell no. So that's what we're looking at. They want to take away your mothers, your fathers, your uncles, your grandparents, your disabled children's. They want to take away their benefits. They want to take away their disability, their Social Security, their Medicaid, their Medicare. They want to take it away. So moving forward, there's no reason ever to vote for a Republican again until they denounce these moves.
Okay, can someone please explain to me what the hell is going on? It seems to me we have unlimited funds to arrest farmers, construction workers, dishwashers, line cooks, and truck drivers, but nothing for cancer research, hurricane mitigation, NWS tornado forecasters, food inspectors, environmental regulations, Head Start for children. Oh, and get this, no money for nearly 11 million American citizens who are about to get kicked off their health insurance. Oh, but don't worry, we have money for the Trump Gestapo, plenty of money for them to wear tactical gear and hide behind masks while they arrest school children and hardworking workers, many of whom have been living in this country and contributing to our economy for years. For years. We have zero money to help alleviate crippling student debt or to help young families find affordable housing, despite the pro-family party blaming immigrants on our housing crisis as well. Well, you told us that immigrants were the reason everything was so expensive. Why isn't anything getting cheaper? You claim to only be against illegal aliens, as you call them, and say that people have to go through the legal process. So then why are you hiding like cowards at our courthouses waiting to arrest people when they're going through the fucking legal path? No wonder travel to the U.S. is on the decline. People don't feel safe coming here. Would you visit a country where random people get abducted on a daily basis without any due process? Me neither.
Y'all are seriously falling for this? Like, seriously? You are being manipulated into not caring that people are losing health insurance. MAGA was taking heat for Medicaid cuts, so they quickly pivoted, flipped the script, and said, no, we're not cutting Medicaid. We're just kicking those undeserving and lazy people off of Medicaid. Your lack of understanding about the U.S. immigration system and healthcare system is being exploited, and MAGA is trying to convince you that some people deserve healthcare while others do not. Immigrants without full lawful status are already not eligible for federal Medicaid, and the only reason some states have expanded their state health insurance programs to include these folks is because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to insure people than to not insure them. And these immigrants, regardless of their documentation status, are contributing to our communities. They are building our economy. They are paying taxes. There is no amount of creative math that can be done that only kicks undocumented people off of Medicaid and gets us to $800 billion worth of cuts. It's not possible. On the moral front, everyone deserves health care. On the financial front, bad healthcare will always be more expensive than good healthcare. And no one can make an economic argument that kicking people off of health insurance is going to save us money, because it won't. It is going to cost all of us way more money in the long run.
So we all know that the Medicare, Medicaid, and SNAP cuts did pass through the House this morning, and that we're currently waiting for them to see what's the next step. A lot of people are upset because they lied and said that they weren't going to do all of these components, which we already know that when they say something that they're not going to do, they're going to do it. Okay, so let's get into the gist of how much money they're going to actually cut if this passes through the Senate. So it shows that they're going to take and cut $200 billion from SNAP. Okay, if you don't know what that is, I kind of just went over it. I have videos to tell you about what it is. If not, Google it. It'll tell you what it is, okay? We also have $600 billion cut in Medicaid. $600 billion to cut in Medicaid. And then they did not have an amount of money they're going to cut on Medicare. All it said was like some major big cuts. They don't have a number figure, so we don't know how much that will be. But there will be cuts if this passes through the Senate. And they love to be sneaky, so they voted like at 2 a.m. this morning, 1 a.m. the other morning, while people are sleeping. I still don't understand the dynamics of that. But this is what we're looking at, people. So this is so horrible because there are going to be a lot of people, children, families, loved ones, people on disabilities, all these things that are not going to have coverage if this passes through the Senate. Tell me how you think about this. I think we're all on the same page. But this is very much giving the rich staying richer and the poor figuring out how to live life.
The big beautiful bill has elicited strong reactions from both sides of the political spectrum. Supporters of the bill argue that the proposed cuts are necessary to reduce the federal deficit and promote fiscal responsibility. They contend that Medicaid and SNAP are unsustainable in their current forms and that reforms are needed to ensure the long-term viability of these programs. Opponents, however, view the cut as harmful and unjust. Representative Chantel Brown condemned the bill, stating, "This is cruel, is wrong, and I will continue to join my House Democratic colleagues in fighting this backwards agenda." SNAP, formerly known as Food Stamp, is a federal program that helps low-income individuals and families afford nutritious food. The proposed $230 billion cut to SNAP funding raises serious concerns about food insecurity in the United States. The reduction would not only decrease the overall funding available for SNAP benefit, but also shift a significant portion of the administrative cost to state government. Under the new provision, states will be responsible for covering 5% of the benefit cost and 75% of the administrative cost. This shift could strain state budget and lead to inconsistencies in program implementation across different regions. Additionally, the proposed changes to SNAP could result in a significant reduction in benefit for recipients. The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities warns that deep cuts to SNAP will worsen food insecurity, harm local businesses, and weaken the program's ability to boost jobs in every state. With 1 in 5 children in the U.S. relying on SNAP to access adequate nutrition, these cuts could have devastating effects on the health and well-being of millions of children and their families. Beyond the immediate impact on Medicaid and SNAP recipients, the proposed cut could have broader economic consequences. The Economic Policy Institute notes that reducing Medicaid spending by $880 billion will reduce incomes for the bottom 40% of earners more than any tax cut would benefit them. Conversely, the wealthiest 1% will see significant income gains from the cut while remaining unaffected by reduction in Medicaid. These disparities highlight a growing concern about the concentration of wealth and resources among the nation's wealthiest individuals. Critics argue that the proposed cuts to social programs are part of a broader trend of prioritizing the interests of the wealthy over the needs of working class Americans. So, guys, I would love to hear what you guys think about all of this. Okay, the debate is here. So let me know what you think about this whole big beautiful bill, cutting of Medicaid, cutting of Medicare, the SNAP benefits and all that. A lot of people are really, coming out to talk about it, but I would love to hear what your opinions are in the comment section. Please go ahead and type it in the comment section. Let's have your view on this matter. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so that more people can see it. I look forward to seeing you all on my next video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.